Hello, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Steve, or Ranger Fan 3035. I think it's the first time anyone's ever seen me.
you get to see his face, and today's a cooking with Kenshin1913, and we're on location at my bro's house.
Ranger Fan's house, yeah.
And what are we making today?
We're gonna make apple cider, apple cider donuts.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually, because my son has some allergies, it's a dairy-free bake.
Mm-hmm. And also, you don't have to fry them.
No, yeah, they're baked. They're baked donuts. I've never tried to fry them. You probably could. Well, maybe not, because you gotta bake them. It's really a batter.
Yeah.
Well, no, because even donut batter, it's kind of like if you had the machine to drop it into the oil.
Yeah.
You could probably fry it. I've never tried it. I only ever bake them. I have the donut pans. Step on the shop.
All right. You don't gotta show everything.
Donut pans. That's it.
Yeah. So let's get started.
What are we doing today?
We're making.
Apple cider donuts.
I'm making apple cider donuts.
And what do we use in the apple cider donuts? Apple cider.
Apple cider.
Flour.
Flour.
Right.
Baking powder.
Baking powder.
Baking soda.
Baking soda.
Ground cinnamon.
Ground cinnamon.
Nutmeg or clove.
Nutmeg or clove.
Oh, you all right?
Whichever you like.
Whichever you like.
Salt.
Salt.
1 room temperature egg.
1 temperature egg.
Butter.
Butter.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
And the original recipe calls for buttermilk, but I don't use milk because this is dairy-free because my son Nicandro has dairy allergy.
Yeah.
So we use rice milk, and I use dairy-free margarine instead of butter.
Nice.
And then use also vanilla.
So, Nino, let's get started.
Look up. Let's get started.
Let's,
Yeah, go. Let's get started.
let's get started.
Right.
All right, ready? Go. So for this recipe, basically almost all the dry ingredients go in. You want a separate mixing bowl for the dry ingredients. So this right here was 2 cups of flour. So next we're gonna do. It doesn't matter what order. The closest to me right now is the baking powder, and you're gonna do 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder.
So where did you learn this recipe, bro?
Actually found it. Something probably gonna sue you. I found it online.
Yeah.
It was for my son's birthday. So this is, I have a 4th tablespoon. Use 3 of these, 3/4. I have a leveler on here. 2.
So yeah, you learned this from someone on the internet.
Yeah. I was searching for recipes for, my son had like a orchard themed birthday party. And we wanted to do something like that. So this is gonna be your baking powder now. Baking soda, I'm sorry, and this is gonna be a teaspoon. I'll just do 4 of these, I guess. We have a teaspoon here. With your apple cider, I guess I should say, we'll show right after I do this.
Right.
Sorry to jump around. With your apple cider, it's 1 1/4 cup. You have to start reducing it now, because what you want is a reduced to 1/2 cup. I put a little more in there usually than I need, just in case the batter is thicker for some reason. So I just measure out the reduced. I'm really reducing it now. Once,
that's what we're doing.
yeah, once it's reduced, even if it drops down to 1/2 cup, at least I know I'll have a little more. So I always put a little more than 1 1/4, and I just measure out the 1/2.
Right.
So now salt, I never measure salt, but it's a 1/4 tablespoon. I just shake it in. I'm bad with some things like this. Same thing with nutmeg, I just shake it in.
But baking is a science.
Sometimes not. Sometimes I just want it to look a certain way. And even the cinnamon. The proper measurements are going to be on the video before.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So
What's this?
The cinnamon. It was also, I ran out.
Okay.
Spoon to mix it up together. So you just want to mix it around. You kind of want it to look like a dirty flour, almost. If it doesn't look dirty enough to you, I would say before you add more nutmeg, because nutmeg is a little stronger in flavor.
Right.
Throw more cinnamon in, which this doesn't look dirty enough to me. In all honesty, I like mine a little more darker. So I'm gonna add actually a little more cinnamon and a little more nutmeg, because I don't mind nutmeg flavor. So this is what I was talking about before. This is about how dirty I like it to look. If you honestly you want more cinnamon or you want more anything else, by all means knock yourself out. Okay? Like I don't want to be like another person on YouTube, but
Yeah.
you know you are the one who's gonna eat these. So.
Yeah.
So next we're gonna do the wet ingredients, which we do separate. I usually do my dries in a separate bowl because I like to do my wets in the KitchenAid mixer, or sure you can do it by hand.
Yeah.
You can do anything by hand. Yeah, I got this. I love the KitchenAid thing. So we're gonna do the wets first. So first we're gonna do egg. Supposed to have it room temperature. I did take this out beforehand, as you can see it's a little wet and sweating. I don't think it's gonna kill you. I've made it before with it's not room temperature. You know what I mean? And you're gonna use the whisk attachment. Don't stick on afterwards. We're gonna do sugar and we're gonna do melted butter. Now, like I said, for the butter, I use dairy free. This is just one of the ones I use because my son has a dairy allergy. So it's more of a margarine than it is a butter, but I got no other option. So it's hard to measure this. There are some that come in the sticks, but I can't find the sticks
Right.
in my area. I could order them online, but that's too much of a process when I can just go to the store and buy the bucket. So my butter always comes out probably a little more than what the recipe actually calls for, because I'm guessing here of how much butter I think 2 tablespoons are when I drop it in there. And you're gonna melt this, and I always just melt it in the microwave.
It's already pretty melty.
Well, I've had it out. This is the butter. Mine came out to be about 1/4. But I also take into consideration I can't use buttermilk, which probably does taste a little sweeter. I really don't know what buttermilk tastes like. But it tastes a little sweeter than the rice milk. So even if I have a little extra butter, I always say that I'm adding a butter flavor that I can't add with the milk.
Right.
An extra flavor, or a little more of a different flavor than I can't add with the other milk.
Yeah, so you got your egg.
I got my egg and my my butter in there.
Now you gotta put the sugar and the vanilla extract.
Well, first I start beating it to get it all mixed together.
Right.
I like to break the egg up. So the next is a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. I pack it over. I don't mind if a little extra sweetness falls in. The extra I'm packing, it falls in. So I shouldn't even bother packing it this way if I just do it. But that's a little probably more, but it's okay. It's a little sweeter. And then we use a 1/2 cup of granulated white sugar. You could use raw sugar if you want. It's just another sugar. So this is a 1/2 cup. I had in my sugar container. I have a 1/4 cup measure, I think. So you use this a lot. I was a little under there, so I'm gonna add a little extra. So that's about 1/4, 1/2 cup of white sugar. Now you're gonna mix this together. It's gonna look like a gooey mess. As you can see, I'm using light brown sugar. The recipe does call for dark, but it's basically the same thing. I just have light in the house today.
Yeah, I think the only difference is
More molasses content. If you want me to add, I got molasses. I'll add it in there. It's actually probably wouldn't. I should experiment one time with that. Probably wouldn't taste too bad. So, recipe calls for what I believe a cup of. Calls for a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Hey, look, it's one. It's Enzo, the little guy who helps in the kitchen.
Hey Enzo, can you wave?
You gonna say hi?
All right.
What are you making? Donuts, apple cider donuts.
That's right.
So, the normal recipe calls for 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Once again, this is a dairy-free recipe. I use rice milk. This just happens to be Stop and Shop brand because that's all they sell on my Stop and Shop. Used to get rice cream, but now it's Stop and Shop. It tastes the same. All right, ready? So this is the 1/2 cup of rice milk poured in by Enzo. There we go. Starts to get all more liquefied. Pick it up a little bit. I never lose like fat content not using real milk or stuff like that. So it's not really, I found out honestly with baking, especially when we're using like baking powder and stuff like that, in the egg it doesn't really matter. And so next we're gonna do the apple cider. And it's a half a cup of the reduced apple cider hot.
Yeah. It's gotta be hot?
No, they tell you to cool it down because the risk of, you know, scrambling the egg.
Yeah.
But as long as you pour a little bit in at a time, I've never had a problem. I've never cooled it. If you're feeling comfortable, then just make sure you reduce yours at first, and then we'll see how I have a little bit extra. You know how I measure, just in case I feel my dough might be, the batter might be a little too thick.
Right.
So this is more pie consistency, and end up more looking like a pancake batter.
What you doing then, Joe?
So with this, once again, because we're tempering, we're gonna add a little bit in at a time. So then the egg doesn't scramble. We want to make everything warm like the apple cider. And then we're gonna add the last bit in. Should be warm enough where it's not gonna scramble the egg. I like to pick it up fast. At this point, I'm gonna switch to the
Regular paddle.
the regular paddle. I don't know what they call this. The beater paddle. I don't know.
Or the beetle paddle.
Because the whisk is basically done. I don't really like to get the dough, the batter stuck in it as much. I think the whisk takes up more and the more peanut butter thing.
Nah, the beetle.
Oh, we almost missed something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't measure my vanilla. So mine's will probably taste a little. I like vanilla flavor, so I don't mind having a little extra in there. And there you go. That's probably.
So you gotta let the camera in. What's this?
That's our last liquid. Let me just give it a quick beat with the vanilla. Get the vanilla mixed in. Now we're gonna go slow and we're gonna mix in our dry. And do you want help?
Yeah.
All right. How about we not use this one? Put that down. And use this one. No, I'll put it in and you. Good. You don't. Make sure you get it all in.
At this point, I would suggest to preheat your oven to 350 degrees.
Yes, preheat 350. Yeah.
We need sweet.
We need to use all of it.
Yeah, why?
All right, now I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna do this one, okay? I'm gonna shut the mixer off real quick. So this is what the batter should look like. I stopped once to scrape down the sides to get all the flour back into it. You could check under. Sometimes when I make my KitchenAid, it gets stuck on the bottom of the lid, so you want to give it a quick stir, and then you could mix it because sometimes the center doesn't, get to everything. But this is about the consistency you want. It's almost like pancake batter, maybe a little thicker.
Yeah, I already said preheat your oven to 350.
Yeah, so you're gonna preheat your oven at 350. Ours is ready to go. So for the donut tray, I use kitchen spray, baking kitchen spray. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to use it's this bottle. I'm sure everyone knows if you go to the store.
Yeah.
Use whatever one you want. Just make sure it's the baking type. Don't get like vegetable oil. Just plain. You want the flour in it. I just over my sink so it's less of a mess.
Right.
I just spray all the.
And one thing you can do if you don't have these pans, you can put the if you want, you can put the dough in like a piping bag or something, and then on a baking sheet you can.
I don't know.
You can make a circle.
Well, you'd have to have something to hold the dough because it's very loose.
Oh right.
If you fried them, that might work because you're just dipping. Don't make a mess. You're just like dropping it in the fries and then make it like congeal.
Right.
It's gonna make it start to cook right away. So that's what I say. If you fry them, you probably could. You just have to. I don't have the donut dropper.
Yeah.
But then you probably could, like you said, like use a piping bag.
What are you doing, Enzo the baker? What are you doing?
Pammed up, ready to go.
All right, Enzo.
I tend to transfer the batter into a cup.
Something you can pour.
Yeah, I like this one because obviously it has a long nozzle and made it a lot easier. I made these for the party and I made.
Hey, how about
had to be like 6 batches worth. And
Right. Yeah, and this is only one batch.
there's only one batch, but I still like to use this because it's a lot easier to pour. A little bit less mess. So here we're gonna pour. Like I said, that all fit into this.
Yes.
So this is I don't know how many cups this is.
That's alright.
3.5. This is 3.5 cup.
Yeah, you're pretty much gonna make maybe 2 dozen donuts.
Maybe. It all depends. I don't know.
What's it?
That's sugar.
Are we already did
So yeah, you
that?
gotta be careful when you pour that stuff in.
Yeah. You don't want to fill them all the way up.
No,
Well,
because
they will expand.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because they were baking it.
so yeah, these are gonna. He's gonna keep filling these.
Mhm.
We're gonna toss them in the oven, and pretty much they're gonna be in there
For
for
9 to 10 minutes.
yeah. So, we'll take them out and show you what they look like when they're done. So, let's do that.
There is an optional topping. I never use it. I could
Right.
give the recipe online. I'm not even going to explain it now because I never use it.
Right.
But once they come out and they cool down, you could shake them in.
Powdered sugar.
No, it's like a
Cinnamon?
It's a cinnamon sugar. I think there may be brown sugar in it too as well. That I just don't use it because it's just.
Yeah, the
Too
donut's
much
already
sugar.
the donut's already sweet. They're
Yeah.
really good. So yeah. So we're gonna finish doing this and throw them in the oven. Mo, look over here.
Fast as it used to be. The camera.
Mo. There you go, buddy. I got you. I got you. Now let's get you, buddy. Buddy. There we go. I got you for posterity because I got video of Sandy too.
So, as you see, you got German Shepherd there. If you did see it, his name's Buddy. This is what they will look like coming out of the oven. This is about 9 minutes later.
Very nice.
They rose pretty good. Watch your
Yeah.
face, buddy. You get burned.
So you just gotta let them cool.
Yeah, I let them cool and I'll pop them out and then I'll do the same thing. I have a little batter. It's probably maybe a tray and a half, maybe a tray.
Yeah. So we're gonna let these cool, plate them up, and eat them. But one other thing I just wanted to mention, yeah, this is what they're supposed to look like. But if you want them to get a little more brown, what do you think, bro? You can let them if you
You
want.
could, but if you use the dark brown sugar, they're actually going to be more brown than this.
Right.
They get a little darker. You can see the edges. You don't really want to burn them. They're going to burn.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't have to pull them up. Let them cool down.
I can pull one up to show the bottom. So that's like the perfect thing right there. You don't really
Right.
want it to get too dark.
Right.
Because like, you're not frying it. you know?
Right.
This one's a little overfilled, but you'll get something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. It's artisan.
Yeah. So when you're done, they look like this. Obviously, played up a little bit. He's zooming in.
Oh, yeah.
Extreme close up. Oh, like Wayne's World.
Whoa! All right, so let's try them. So they're very good. They're very moist. And they're very good. A lot of cinnamon in there. You got the apple cider. And it's good.
Yeah, and they're not fried or a little healthy when they're baked. And once again, this version is the dairy-free version.
Yeah, so it's very good. Like I said, it's good.
It's good.
That's what I'm
From
Barbecue Pit Boys. But anyways,
Oh,
thank you, bro,
No
for
problem.
being on this
Thanks.
video.
Thanks for having me.
I've been Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with,
Ranger Fan 3035 or Steven.
and this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Take it easy, guys. See you in the NHL.
And as my mom would say, enjoy and happy eating.